Hey, it's Adler from F1021, night 3 of Big Snow Show 13 with Death Cab for Cutie, Nick, and Dave. Gentlemen, welcome back to Milwaukee.
Thank you.
Hello.
I have, now, Dave, how long have you been with the band officially, like your first show?
I guess 4 years
4 years?
next month.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
So it's
Wow.
like kind of very, it's the very beginning and the, well, first and last in, I guess, right? No. Are you,
What?
no, members, as far as the
Oh yeah, Zach
band
and
goes.
Zach and I joined
Zach,
at the
you
same
joined at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Yep.
Um,
Same time.
The new album, outstanding, fantastic. Thank you for today. As soon as I heard it, loved it. And I'm going to get this out of the way early. About 2 months into playing Gold Rush, I was back selling it on the air, and I mentioned in passing, I go, it has nothing to do with a local establishment in Milwaukee. And to explain that further, this is my holiday gift to you as a band.
Ooh.
Ooh.
The gift will explain itself.
Okay. Am I unwrapping it right now?
You're unwrapping it right now,
Okay.
or unearthing.
So
So there is a
Gold Rush chicken.
yes. there is a
Is it good?
it's excellent.
Oh well.
It's excellent.
Gold Rush.
There you
And
go. Yeah.
immediately after backselling the song and mentioning it, I go, I'm 99% sure nobody from Death Cab has ever been a Gold Rush chicken. And that's where I ended it. And immediately somebody called, and I go, oh shit. Because anytime somebody calls right after you say something on the radio, usually horrible.
Yeah.
Wrong. Opposite. Guy goes, I'm the grandson of the founder of Gold Rush Chicken. Do you want some hats? And I go, you bet your ass I do. I go, I bet. And then I talk to him later. I go, I bet the band would love them too.
Bring
yeah.
it on.
So there,
Yeah. Thank you.
So there we go.
That is amazing.
Looking for wings in my neighborhood.
yeah, right. Exactly.
Mm.
I wanted to give you something that I knew nobody else would give you this holiday season.
This is a once in
Maybe,
a lifetime.
right?
Yeah. fully unique.
Okay. Good.
Thank you. You know, seriously, it's a thoughtful gift. It really is.
Cool.
Yeah.
It just
Take some
it
advanced
killed me. It's in
planning.
my neighborhood
Yeah.
too. That's why. Like that's why I knew what it was. It's just outstanding. That's just part of the album that I love. I do actually have a question about it's the final. It's 60 and Punk.
Yep.
Who did keyboards on that?
Zach did.
Zach did. Okay.
No.
Oh, Ben.
Did
Oh, yeah.
both-
I guess that's
Dave-
true. Yeah, Ben played them all. Yeah.
Ben's playing the piano, and Zach and I are both doing kind of like synthy things.
That's
on
Okay.
it.
what I'm
But
thinking
Ben
of,
Ben actually recorded the piano in his own space in Seattle.
Yeah.
Oh really?
It was like on
Yeah.
I guess the demo version
Yeah.
of it.
Okay.
And we liked it so much, and it was so kind of like warbly and spooky sounding that we just flew it over to the final.
And
thing.
that's what I
That,
thought.
that actually is also. Remember, Ben retracked the piano during the Christmas break at his space because it was going to be a string song for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we decided to mess around with it being a piano. Anyway,
See,
a
no, this is
long
what I want.
evolution.
This is what I want.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
want the
It-
backstories of how
that
the
song
song
was like
came.
literally the day before we left the studio. We
Okay.
had no idea what we were going to do with the
Yeah,
song. And
exactly.
It came together in the last 24 hours.
Because
It
it
did.
is just a warbly you're
Yeah.
kind of I listened to the album all the way through while driving, and I'm like, I wonder if this is the last song. I'm like, damn, this is a real kind of a heart wrencher. You're like, it just seems like you guys are looking ahead when you're
Yeah.
20 years from now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, but all the keyboard stuff, all the key stuff is really interesting to me.
Yeah. And live, I was Zach plays it live,
Okay.
and then Dave does all the extra like synthy bits. Ben just stands and sings.
And
so
that's
it's
why I
really
was wondering, 'cause
powerful.
there's a
yeah.
lot of keys going
Yeah,
on.
exactly.
So
Yeah, it's we have reinterpreted that song. I don't know how many times at this point, but the final version is. At one point, there was a full string accompaniment
Okay.
to it, and in the existing version, you get one. Ha. That's it. That's the
it's
only thing left over from
far
the
more
entire string
heart-wrenching
part.
with the one than,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
No, it pulls enough on you to not need a lot.
Cool.
I think, but if there's more, also interesting. I mean, I think-
We left a lot on the cutting room floor, but it's in its sparse sort of presentation. I think the
and,
best version
yeah,
of it.
Nick, you and I talked earlier on the phone this week about the album and all the stuff that was left over that you didn't use yet.
Yep.
What do you think?
We're
I mean-
we're talking about plans right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There will probably be a home for some of the stuff that got cut.
Okay.
We're still trying to figure out what exactly that's going to look like and what the timeline and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But you know, not everything that we recorded made the final running order of
Okay.
the 10 songs, and I don't think that the other songs that we've finished that aren't on the album, I don't think they're just going to disappear. So I don't exactly know
They'll be
what that's going
unearthed
to.
or
Yeah,
reimagined or-
we're talking about just all of the available options for us next year. We're also pretty busy between now and then too. So
I was gonna
yeah,
say,
we'll
it's not like you have a lot of
yeah, exactly.
But
sitting around the couch
the
going.
things that didn't necessarily make it because they were inferior. They just sort of didn't fit in with the theme that
Okay.
the album
Exactly
ended up
right.
presenting.
that
Yeah.
makes more
So,
sense.
but they're good stuff that I know will see the light of day at some point.
Yeah.
And we're now going on 20 years.
20
with
years.
The bands.
Yeah.
Do you remember the early shows here in Milwaukee?
All of them. Yeah.
Do you?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember the venues?
Yeah. I mean,
not the names of maybe, but
Cactus Club.
Yep, Cactus Club's still
that was
around.
one of the first ones we played
there
here.
a Globe East somewhere?
We made really good friends with a bunch of Milwaukee musicians over
Okay.
the years that we ended up. Our earliest tours through here, we would end up staying at, staying on people's floors, and we had
Okay.
a really good, honestly, like a really cool community of people that were here, that were really supportive of us, and like welcomed us into their homes. And like I slept on a lot of floors around Milwaukee in the early
do you get
tours.
like texting calls from people when you're coming in town going?
Yeah, we still see
Hey.
a
All
lot
right.
of them around. There's still a few people that are making music. There's people just love Milwaukee. It's been their
Yeah.
home forever. So yeah, we still have a pretty deep community of people here that
It's
we
kind of
like
how you
running
stay
into.
around for 20 years, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly. Yeah,
you,
yeah.
you don't ever answer a text. I don't know who you are. You slept on my floor.
Yeah.
You're like,
I mean, there are some floors we slept on that I wouldn't remember their names at all. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, just nice people that were like, because we would play shows in our early tours, and at the end of the show, we would say, does anybody have a floor we could sleep on? And we would pack our stuff up. I mean, this is 2:00 in the morning, and there would always be someone that would just raise their hand and say, yeah, come stay with me. Come stay at my parents' house. Come stay. And we would go in the middle of the night, follow them through all of these neighborhoods or wherever, and end up at some place. And sure enough, there'd be a floor we'd sleep on
what
someplace.
was the vehicle of choice at that point?
We had a tour van, yeah.
Oh,
so
nice.
yeah, we always had one person sleep in the van with the gear, so
Protection.
protection,
Yeah.
that weak protection. We didn't have cell phones in those early tours back in the 1900s.
Yeah.
We didn't have cell phones. I had an air horn, one of those like boat
Yeah.
things. So I would oftentimes sleep in the van, and I would sleep with
That
that.
was legitimately your security?
Yeah, exactly. If someone got in the van and was trying to hotwire the van or something, I would just put it on the ear. That was my plan, and blast them, scare them or something like that. Probably would have ended in my murder at that point, but
just hitting a lot
Sounds
of-
bulletproof.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But at the time, we thought that was better than like some kind of violent. What are we gonna like put a knife to someone's neck or something?
Which in Milwaukee is
Yeah.
perfect. There's a lot of boat stores that you can stop by and get more air horns.
Totally,
You're like,
yeah.
How cheap is that?
Yeah, it was it
$6 can.
seemed like a good deterrent at the time. Probably in hindsight, not so good. But we never had any problems, so never really had to test it.
You
so
never got
that's good.
anything stolen.
Never did.
Really?
Knock on
That's
wood.
amazing. Beautiful.
Yeah. Well, we never had a trailer either. So
Yeah.
a lot of times bands that lose stuff, they lose it in the trailer.
Suburban
sort of
crime
thing.
in Milwaukee isn't that bad, which is
Yeah.
probably where you were staying. I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
yeah.
That's good. Well, you guys are headlining tonight. I don't want to keep you. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming back, time after time, floor after floor. Now in a bed.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
Fingers
actually,
crossed.
Sometimes
tonight.
you don't get one.
Yeah,
tonight
tonight
we don't get one.
get a bed tonight. We're driving to Chicago
Oh,
right after
really?
the show. So,
So
well,
you're
it's
just gonna put an air
sleep
horn in
on
your
the road.
pocket?
Yeah, and hope.
Pew, pew,
Yeah,
pew.
yeah, that's it.
That would be the greatest merch item ever.
Yeah.
Why
The
the hell
Death
is
Cab
Death
air
Cab?
horn.
Yeah,
That
Death
is a good
Cab.
idea.
Yeah, the Death Cab air horn.
You're like, it's Death Cab for Cutie, home security.
Yeah, we can imagine that working out really well for us at the shows. We're selling all
Oh.
these air horns at the merch table, and everyone all
I was-
show long.
Oh my
I
god.
was gonna get a T-shirt, but the air horn was there.
Yeah.
So I figured,
I
what
was-
the hell?
They brought it way down for All Fire in the Dark, and all I heard were air horns. It'd be like the vuvuzela of yeah.
Brazilian soccer out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
They're not done yet. We're just gonna blow our air horns until they do the second encore.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, never mind. Let's
Yeah.
kill
We're
that
gonna-
idea.
we'll kill that idea.
All right. Thank you guys so much for the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you for the hats.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Love being in Milwaukee.
Welcome back.